What's the best, or worst, reaction someone had to you getting undressed? So my husband and I have a thing we do. Every time one of us says I'm gonna go get comfy/extra comfy, the other somehow manages to race up the stairs, jump into bed and fluff the pillows and prepare for a show. Sometimes it's nothing more than just jumping on the bed and just watching the other get undressed and into PJs. I always gave him compliments waiting to find the one that will make him grin and blush. So far I only get the grins and him telling me I'm full of shit or yeah right. When he does this for me he does make me feel beautiful. After the kids and weight gain he still looks at me like I am a work of art. And the entire encounter cannot end without someone's ass getting slapped. Most recent/embarrassing, like 6 weeks ago, I was minding my own business in standstill traffic when someone totaled my car going 90. I was wearing a cami, no bra, at the time. I was okay but was told to go to the ER to get checked out for whiplash. Now, I work at the hospital, so was already embarrassed to be a patient. They needed to check my spine/ribs/abdomen because of the speed I was hit at. Not one, but two, providers that I'm acquainted with or work with had to see me topless that day. Needless to say, that was awkward for me. But another day for them. Not naked, but when I was 8 months pregnant I went with my husband, now ex, and my 2 boys to the pool. I took off my shirt and shirts and I was wearing a bikini. I thought I looked amazing and was confident as could be even for being that far along. My ex took one look at me and was like, "Your belly looks weird and freaky." I had an umbilical hernia so my belly button stuck out a little more than usual. My face and confidence just dropped. I walked away to the kiddie pool with our toddler. An older woman there apparently had overheard what happened and she looked at me and said, "You look absolutely gorgeous." So the worst and best all at once. It didn't make me feel better, but I thought she was really sweet to try. After that, no more bikinis for me for years. The absolute worst was when I got up to take off my clothes and get to it and my situationship at the time decided to say, "Man, if my grandparents knew I was hooking up with a black girl, like we are both naked, who says that?" I've told friends and they are still shocked. Yes, he was white. On the bright side, I've had far more positive moments too. One that really got me was when I was going through a phase where I felt more insecure because I had gained weight and I was kind of trying to distract, so I mentioned I would go put on some music. He said, "No, I rather hear you," and started kissing me and I immediately melted, forgetting my negative thoughts at the time. I was on the bed one time partially dressed, my BF was in his computer chair with his arms behind his head just watching me, and he looked at me without saying a word like I was the most amazing thing he'd seen, admiring me, smiling at me like wow, and I was like so suddenly aroused and just giggling and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "You're driving me crazy," and he's like, "But I'm just looking at you," and I was like, "But it's you looking at me like that." We have had many moments like that but I've never felt so desired in my life. We're in our 50s, I've never had any bad reactions, I just realized that. Boyfriend and I have similar sense of humor and we love to prank and roast each other aggressively. One night we went out to a friend's birthday party around New Year's Eve, bar hopping around downtown on one of the busiest bar nights in a huge city. The streets were overly crowded and we were raging drunk walking to our hotel when I noticed somebody barfing near a sidewalk. I had my arm around my BF's neck and I made a funny attempt to shield his eyes from the vomiting stranger and told him, "Don't look, it looks bad," to which he replied, "I've seen you naked." To this day this is still the best roast I've ever gotten. He claims he didn't mean it like that, but it was hilarious then and we still laugh about it years later. More the conversation we had about my being naked, than the reaction itself. I slept with my boyfriend for the first time, and after the fact, we were talking and I mentioned I was surprised I trusted him enough to be naked in front of him. It did not take long for me to be comfortable with it, I didn't feel afraid of his reaction, and I was okay to do it even after sex, when I feel very unattractive. He said he really valued that from me. It's clear from what I've said that I struggle with body positivity, and he understood that and appreciated the trust that came from me being naked in front of him. First time I undressed for my boyfriend, he looked at my stomach and said, "Wow, it really is big." I told him in advance that my stomach didn't match the rest of me. At the time I had been in the process of losing weight and my stomach didn't want to say goodbye, lol. 100 pounds loss BTW. That was the end of us that night because I didn't, and still don't need the negativity. I was hard enough on myself, I didn't need any help with that. Who needs that trifling nonsense? I don't rely on others for validation like I used to. Don't like it? Keep on walking. My partner and I have been together for 8 years and he denies to this day ever saying this to me, but this is not a comment just you forget. LOL. After the first time we were intimate he said something along the lines of, yeah, people's bodies can really look different without clothes on. Upside down face, upside down face, upside down face. I had always been heavier but had been working out like crazy and just lost 80 pounds that year. It stung and I didn't have the balls to confront him about it until like 6 months later, where he denied ever saying that and said that if he did say it he was probably saying it about his own body. LOL whatever, we fell in love and have been together for 8 years and have 2 kids now.